So I'm going to be introducing our next speaker, which is Deb SaBell. She recently had a best-selling book called Crystals of Courage, and she is a caregiver, and she's actually an expert caregiver. So people call on her, get consulting from her about caregiving for all different populations, among other things that she does well, like writing, speaking, podcasting. So thank you, Deb.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Oh, there we go. I have some notes. Oh, this is my new book, by the way. Do I have to hold this up here? Okay. Okay. My name is Deb SaBell, and I am from Denver, Colorado. I recently wrote a book, Crystals of Courage, and this refers to caregiver stories of love, loss, and resilience. Strength and courage are two qualities needed to fight the battle with ALS with someone. Learning to cope and survive through losing a child very tragically also requires a lot of grit, endurance, stamina, and inner strength like you never knew you had in the depths of your soul, trying to find a way to move forward. I'd like to read something that's in my book that I think you'll enjoy. It's a great story. And a little background. I started life in a foster home. So you see, growing up as a person, even knowing subconsciously that you're not wanted by your parents, abandonment is a big issue, and it repeatedly pops up in your life. And basically all you're doing is looking for love because you kind of didn't have it. So, and I did find love. Deb SaBell was the absolute love of my life. And something I had given up on after I got divorced. I was just like, okay, this is what it's going to be. And so a cute story from my book, probably the cutest. My husband, Dave, died on a Tuesday evening. The next morning, as I got up to head out to the funeral home, it was about 8:30 in the morning, and I was standing in front of the kitchen island, and there's a lot of big glass windows behind me, sliding doors, and the sun was just radiating in on my back. And it felt so good. It was so warm. And I had just finished thinking, it's finally over, because it's a long struggle. And I was thinking, he's on his next journey, and he's in peace. And the doorbell rang. So when you have hospice for quite a while, the doorbell rings all the time, and you get used to it. And it's actually a really wonderful thing because it could be the smallest thing. They just deliver. And I always tell people, once you're on board with hospice, it's incredible. No doctors, no drugstores, no anything, because they bring everything to you. I walked over to the door expecting it to be the delivery people. And there was a person standing there with 24 of the most beautiful red roses, those really good kind, that are like just beautiful. And I went, thank you. And as I took them back to the counter, I sat there and thought, who the heck's so quick on the draw, man? And so now this was a Wednesday morning, about 14 hours after Dave died. The next day would have been our 10th anniversary. And the flowers were from Dave with a note. And he wasn't even here. Happy anniversary, baby. Can't thank you enough for all that you've done for me. So much. So truly, I found love again, or found love other than my children. And it's just so fantastic. I can't even tell you. And all of it was worth it, So I do support groups. They're transformational because I couldn't find one, so I started my own and got certified. Connecting with the community that relates to you is so important. I can't even stress that enough. I do respite retreats. I just got back from Dallas doing one. I'm a master mentor for people who can't figure things out in the chaos, because in the middle of it, you can't. And let's see. I always tell people, look to your left, look to your right. Somebody's going to be affected by something unexpected. So in my opinion, it's better to be prepared. And as Deepak Chopra himself told me when I asked him, what can I do to save Dave? Because I thought he could give me the answer. And he just said, sometimes, Debbie, it's in God's hands. And that truly is the reality of it all. So being prepared is what I'm all about, helping people with resources and everything you need when you don't have the time or space in your head to figure it out. And thank you for all being here.